CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Havana calling. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hola, amigos radio aficionados all around the world. You are most welcome to this edition of DXers Unlimited, now celebrating our 28 years on the air, helping to promote this wonderful hobby that you and I enjoy so much. It can be enjoyed by spending a nice vacation at a remote island, operating your own low-power amateur radio station using the sun as your power source, or maybe you are now getting ready to solder the last part of a circuit board that will soon be connected to its power supply, antenna, and loudspeaker, ready to bring the magical moment of the first station heard on a homebrew transmitter or receiver. Yes, amigos, there are more than 91 different ways that you and I can make our spare time and enjoy the hobby in a wonderful way. Here's now one of them that is winning more and more into that due to the challenges that it involves. I'm talking about operating your own amateur radio station using a low-power transmitter, not to exceed 5 watts when operating on CW Morse code, radio telegraphy, or using one of the really amazing new digital communication modes like the AT65 or Olivia. That's another one very popular now. It's used 10 watts but on single sideband voice mode. URP means low-power operation, and this just said it is attracted a lot of attention worldwide, to the extent that URP operators are achieving really amazing results even when using simple low-cost antennas and home-built radios, not an expensive hobby at all when running URP. Let me give you a recent example. Not too long ago, I was testing a short-wire antenna for 20 meters above the band at the request of a ham radio friend that has very little space available to install his antenna as his rooftop. His favorite band, 20 meters, so they challenged me to design for him, build and test a half-size wire antenna dipole that complete his antenna system and can be fitted into the space available. Half-size means that the antenna's overall length could not exceed 6 meters overall, which 5 meters were the actual size of the active antenna element, and each end was separated by 50 centimeters from the support mass. The antenna design called for 2 highly efficient loading coils that are placed at a distance of 1.25 meters from each side of the center insulator of the dipole antenna. The subwave resonant short dipole is fed by means of a 1-to-1 unbalanced transformer or bottle to prevent the outer part of the coaxial cable feed line from acting as a separate antenna and distorting the vertical radiation pattern of the otherwise excellent antenna system. Once completed, the prototype antenna was set up between 5 meters of high mass and carefully adjusted to resonance of 14.1 megahertz. Because my friend wanted to provide optimum performance at the low end of 20 meters, where CW operation is more popular. He also operates CW and D zones too. Using advanced antenna modeling software, very sophisticated computer software, it was possible for me to estimate that this half-size antenna was down by about minus 3 to 4 decibels when compared to the full-size dipole of the same height above average terrain. Well, it took just a few minutes to connect my 5-watt CW rig and start calling CQ on 14060 kilohertz, 20 meters, and it was nice to hear not one but I believe 3 stations coming back to my first call. Taking a look at the power and standard wave ratio meter, I was happy to see 4 watts going to the antenna and a 1-to-1 standing wave ratio. So after exchanging several reports with 3 stations, I decided to go QRT and make a phone call to my friend to tell him that his antenna was ready to be taken down from my location and sent to his provisional installation at my station and taken to his home to be installed there. Alberto, the name of my friend, now has 2 compact wire antennas, one for the 20 meters band, another one for 40 and 50 meters, and the new one that I built for him was still 20 meters. But we soon found out something very interesting, that by tweaking the antenna controls on the spine network antenna tuner. This Arnicoro spine network antenna wideband antenna tuner. It was possible to make the new 6 meters overall length antenna to operate also on the 17 meters band, a very popular band indeed. Later we found out my Pi network antenna tuner could easily be handled short 20 meters band antenna, also on the 15, 12, and 10 meters band. So now Alberto, my amigo, wants to build a new version of the compact 20 meters band antenna that will be provided with one additional pole, so it can be also operated on the 6 meter band, all achieved with the same horizontal space, just required to install the original short dipole. Yes, amigos, this is Radio Havana Cuba. The name of the show is DXers Unlimited. I'm Arnicoro, your host here, and this edition is devoted to compact dipole antenna designs sorted by a combination of loading coils and capacity hats when needed. Alberto, my friend, the now happy owner of the first compact antennas, made possible for him to operate on the 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meter bands. So 20, 1, 17, number 2, 15, number 3, 12, number 4, 10 meters, number 5. 5 bands on a wire dipole, very 12. My friend Alberto is now very pleased with the performance of this short dipole, and he plans to build a similar version, but for 40 meters. Now a bit more about the high Q factor loading coils used by both antennas, the one for 40 meters and the one for 20 meters. The original ones were made using two very nice 50 millimeters diameter glazed ceramic coil forms, one with a calculated number of turns to reach the required inductance that came out from the software. In order to optimize the Q factor, the windings were done between turns, so that it was easily and neatly done by winding two wires at the same time, then slowly and carefully unwinding one of them. Right diameter. These two coils were used on the 20 meters band short antenna, and in order to protect them from our tropical weather, very important here, where we had to just use a lot of insulation and tape around the coil. Taking a look at the characteristics of the options, we decided to build the antennas using a different material that include PVC white plastic pipe of 25 millimeters and 50 millimeters diameter. We tested both. We used also polyethylene pipe, and it works very well too. After many tests up and down the rooftop, coming up and down to test, I came to the conclusion that this was an excellent design, very simple to reproduce, and that can be made available via the internet to anyone needed. I would like to share with you, amateur radio operators, all the information compiled from our experiments with the short antennas, so you can make your own short half-size dipole, wire dipole, that were properly tuned, made possible to operate at locations where full-size dipoles are impossible to set up due to the lack of space. You can send your request for the short dipole antennas information package. That's the name of the file. Short antennas information package to request to info RHC at email.cu. I'll say that again. Info RHC, India, November, Foxtrot, Oscar, Romeo, Hotel, Charlie. The symbol for at, ENET, Echo, November, Echo, Tango. The symbol for dot, Charlie, Uniform, Feather, CU, that's the Cuba domain on the internet. Again, short dipole antennas information package request to info RHC at inet.cu. You can send also via airmail to Arnicoro, Radio Havana Cuba, Havana, Cuba. And do remember to tune in our upcoming edition of DXers Unlimited, the weekend program, during the Sunday and Monday UTC days. Propagation conditions are very poor due to the lack of solar activity, many days without sunspots in sight. And this will continue as we sail through the nadir, or minimum period of activity of solar cycle 24. Send your sailor reports and also requests for information to the PO Box 6240, try that one, to PO Box 6240, Havana, Cuba.
And that's all for today. This is Arnicoro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
Now don't forget that you can participate in our tweets